Hello everybody, and today is the day of reckoning. If you don't know, August 13th was the day that YouTube was supposed to roll out its new policy change of its AI age verification thing. But, thank you, but from my knowledge, no one's been affected by it yet. So what I'm thinking is it's gonna slowly roll it out just to try it. But the weird thing is, I checked the policies the day before. I went to my YouTube studio and looked at where it was before and had been, and it wasn't there. So I'm thinking that there could be a real chance that they shadow removed, like silently got rid of this policy that no one agreed with. Which if so, big dub on YouTube's part. Let parents parent their children. But I know that's a random little tangent to go off of because we're trying to showcase Umbraat, because Umbraat did get a little bit of a buff. Now I know you guys might be wondering, where am I? I managed to get up on this pillar, and it's my new. Look, they can't get to me. This place is awesome. I don't know how I got up here or why I'm up here, but yeah, honestly, we're just here to have some fun with Umbraat. Sorry it took me forever to get into this, but here we have got our brawny, very clumsy, and nimble Umbraat. Now, the whole point of this Umbraat is we're going to be a Drudge sweeper, because someone did want me to try out Drudge Umbraat. Actually, there was 2 suggestions for it. I put up like a number like that. 2. God. 2 suggestions. So I thought, might as well try it out. So yeah, of course, brawny, very clumsy, nimble, works completely fine. With Adam Clutch plushie to safely get off our Drudge. I personally believe if you're going to use a Drudge or Hasten user, you should always have Clutch plushie. Just personally, because I feel like it makes it so you can click that Drudge so much more safely, and generally so much more consistent, in my opinion. And then here we have our simple moves take on the dark type, and the strength of moves is boosted a little bit. So we have dark type Drudge, technically. It doesn't show it, but we do have it. Dark type Body Slam, Chili Chop, and Fade Away. So the whole point of this set is pretty much we want to Drudge, beat stuff up with Body Slam, hit bug types with Chili Chomp if they're chipped, and then we leave soon after. Because Fade Away is going to be an okay option for this set. I don't really know about Drudge plus Pivot, but there's not really any other last good move you can put on this guy. Unless you wanted to go with Gloom Fangs to protect yourself against light type attacks. But personally, I think Fade Away is a bit better. Just because it gives you more options into spirit types. And it allows you to get Pivot off on matchups you don't want to deal with. But yeah, the TPs are also very simple. We have 20 for health, which is leftovers. Oh my god. 52 energy is so then you can get up to 250. 20 for range defense is you get your range defense 1 over your melee defense. Give Protagon a melee attack boost. And then 200 speed. And 200 melee attack. So you get as hard as possible and are as fast as possible. But yeah, let's actually see how fast are we after a +1 Drudge with Nimble. Let's see. 199. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Alrighty, atop our tower, we're going to fight Captain Zack. We're going to see what we're dealing with here. There is a Garbantis, but thanks to our Chili Chomp, we can hit it pretty hard. We just need to get that on the field. I really like how strong Rancidor is here, because in general, Rancidor is just really, really strong. I feel like I'm oh my god, help! I feel like I'm a little worried about Banfano, just because that Scapegoat could be a little irritating. But I guess as long as I have Rancidor around, what? How fast is Banfano again? Is it 109? Yeah, 109. So my Rancidor is faster. I think Rancidor is a required bring this battle. Now here's a mind game. I actually did 2v2 last night, and this guy was in the 2v2. I led Wobblisk in the 2v2 because no one expects it. So what if he's genuinely not expecting it right now? We could do that. That's funny. And then I could go Metro because honestly, their dark switch-ins are really, really, really bad, especially with my goggles. And if they could lower my stats with something, I'm not really sure what it would be, but my Applied Frustration could go pretty hard. I'm fine with this. We're more so going for a lot of our offense and not really worrying about our defense too much. It might prove to be a bit of a problem against Landtorch, so generally we're going to be using most of our switches for Landtorch specifically. So let's see. How did he even see it coming is the real question. No one ever sees it coming. But somehow every time people are seeing it coming, and it's not working anymore. My poor Wobblisk bleed. He does just Fire Breath straight up. Best move here is to click Frost Beam, because it covers for Banfano. Problem is Banfano could be very annoying if I don't get rid of it quickly. So I'm going to Frost Beam because we could get a potential Frostbite on it. And it will do okay damage. It's not going to be great, but it'll do okay damage into Banfano. Because Banfano does not have a range defense stat. Yeah, it does okay damage. Rancidor is pretty free here. I could go like Rancidor or Wobblisk. It doesn't really matter which one. But let's see. I fought this guy a little bit ago and he only knew what switching was. So we're going to try and see if he doesn't just do that anymore. They did not have an ancient switch in, if I recall. Not really, no. I'm just gonna Draco Beam. Something blows up here. Be warned, you're gonna die. That was a really funny joke, by the way. Like and subscribe for funny jokes like that. But yeah, this video is probably gonna be the like way I see how this new change is going. I could go Umbraat. I could also go into this. I could see a spike coming out on Waba. And then I could maybe get one layer of hazards up. Let's see how this is going to work out. Yeah, I kind of expected that. That wasn't very hard to figure out. So, as long as we kill Banfano, we're pretty much fine. Like, there's not really that big of an issue with it. We get our first layer up as they go for a Dissipate here. I guess it could have been Driving Force versus Dissipate, but I think Dissipate... No, since I'm faster than Bywarned, I would go first, so I Driving Force first. But actually, would have been a solid move, but I had no barbs, so there's not really any point. One issue that I'm realizing is that there is a Phage Knot. And looking at it, I don't have Wiki on me. So having to deal with that is going to be a problem. But it's fine. We have two things that are faster than it. So as long as we play around that accordingly, we should be okay. Steel Crusher comes out. It is nice. He's not, he's gonna stay in here expecting Frost Beam. But, it's nice. He's playing a bit better now. It's not a thing of constant swaps. Hopefully he stays in at least. That's what I'm thinking. Because would I make the same play twice of Frost Beaming, or am I just going to Flash and Flee on the Oxydrake? That's what he has to figure out right now. But I've already decided I'm already clicking Flash and Flee. I also wish they added the chest timer for casual battles too. Just because I think it's better. You should always have a chest timer in games like this. This makes sense. They're gonna Driving Force here. I get an insanely strong hit there. They did Driving Force, so realistically the best option to that would be Metronet, but that does reveal what my last is, and he does not know what my last is. So maybe if I go into Rancidor. No, I mean, no matter what's gonna happen, there's a chance Metronet could show up, right? Which is kind of the problem. I don't want Metronet to show up. But Driving Force, this would be my best option into it. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, because he'll know what it is at some point, and so far his team that has been Octodrake, Landtorch, Banfano. Yeah, Octodrake, Landtorch, Banfano. There's one other. A Bywarned. I'm assuming that your last is probably Phage Knot then. Are they gonna Rejuve? They could Rejuve, I guess. Let's see what happens. But I'm just going to Flash and Flee, see if it works out. My problem is the Banfano can come in, which is like the big problem here. Like if they go Banfano, they just get so much, they get a lot out of it. So it's Garbantis or Banfano. That's their last, or not Banfano, Phage Knot. Garbantis or Phage Knot. I don't think they're going to bring, what even was their last? I don't even remember. I can try to get my barbs right back up. I could also just go Umbrat. I guess Quick Pounce Umbraat would have been good for Landtorch specifically, and I guess Thomins. But even then, you don't even outspeed them. I guess after a Drudge you would, right? So I guess Quick Bounce at that point would actually be useful because you do hit both Thaumin and Landtorch, the 2 priority guys. So I guess Quick Bounce does have its niche. It does indeed have its niche. Now, this is kind of where the mind game starts to set in. Am I going to go Luminami? Or, well, it doesn't really matter. Whatever move Landtorch goes for, it does not matter until Luminami. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. It's just, the problem now is they're playing too obvious, right? That's the thing. Because right now, they need to start making prediction plays rather than just throwing out damage moves. That's the problem right now. And the issue is the predictions, they're just too simple right now. I knew you were going to do that. Buy Warns would have been a little bit of a better move here. But yeah, right now I'm looking at it. Landtorch, if I keep my clutch plushie, right now, my Umbraat is really strong, even without Drudge. Like, I can just body slam everything and I should be fine. We're going to see how that works out. We do get the quad resist there. Now I can Muck Blast, because I don't have really any worry. Let's just do that. Okay, Bywarn comes in. So, we're about to reveal what their last Loomian is. I got a crit as well. Crit would not have mattered, I still would have 2-shot anyway. So, that's not something that's like a big problem for me. Crit does not matter. So now it's really coming down to what is the last. Because right now, Umbraat dominates the last couple. As long as I can safely get Drudge up. And that's the only way it's going to work. But from what I can tell, I don't think that's going to be happening. I'd probably end up dying to Fire Breath. I kind of want to keep Rancidor around because I don't know if it's Garbantis or Phagenon as the last. I'm just going to go Luminami. I want to make sure my Rancidor is staying around because I need it alive. You know, they just go for a Fire Breath. Now, at this point, I can Wave Wrecker without much problems. Because if Banfano comes in, I guess I could Photo. I don't know. I feel like I'm completely fine. I don't know what they're going to do here, though. I guess they could wait on the Flash and Flee. Technically, but that doesn't do anything. I just go back and Luminami and I just get health out of it. I'm not sure what they're going to do here. But yeah, they do just... I've gotten every call out right so far. Well, now their ability's gone, so Umbraat can safely go for its setup. Yeah, I guess they don't keep it around, right? I guess that makes sense. They're not going to keep it around. But this should probably still kill. Oh, tragic. No, I messed up. Yeah, messed up a little bit there. Luminami, it'll probably still tank 2. It only did like, what, 30 something damage there? There's Banfano. I mean, at this point, I'm not worried, right? I'm not worried, especially, I don't know. Yeah, they are just clicking strong move now. All right, let's play it. Let's do this. Let's play the Umbraat. We kind of lost one of our better ways of dealing with Garbantis if that ends up happening. But at this point, I don't know what they can do against this. If I Drudge, they're just in a terrible spot, right? Unless, this could be Goggles. Doesn't look like Goggles. Unless, if that's Goggles Banfano damage, that's embarrassing. Alright. Body Slam. It's Boots? Sheesh. Only I would fight Boots Banfano, by the way. Only me. I'm the only human being on Earth that fights it. It is Garbantis. But this is where our Chili Chomp comes in because we know that Landtorch is just one shot right now. We Chili Chomp and the game's over. But we don't kill it because Garbantis is really tanky. I guess technically if I went for 2 Drudges there, knowing I could live 2 Nature's Forces, I would have killed it there. Just get the Umbraat sweep. But it doesn't really matter. The game is going to end the same way. Unless I miss Draco Beam, then I lose. So I guess, yeah, the game is technically still up in the air. Let's see. The game is technically still up in the air. I could still technically lose. I mean, Jacob Beam still kills. Probably, does it kill? Probably. It probably still, yeah, it definitely kills Gorbanis in this range. It's Draco Beam. Yeah, I mean, there was not much he could do there. I sacked the Loomian knowing that it would have been a fine, and hey, it ended up being completely fine. Alrighty. Finding a very original player here. Okay, this looks like the exact team I've been fighting against Jimmy Joe Bobby. There's not a lot of people playing PvP right now. There's really not. I send requests to people, but a lot of the time I have to end up server hopping, and Jimmy Joe always went with the stalkers. I see Umbraat being useful here. It's just we have to be worried about Solnecta. Getting rid of hazards is going to be important. I do really like Metronet Psychoblast here, though. I think it could be really strong. They have their weird barter Metronet on their team. I don't know why Jimmy Bobby's so obsessed with that. It's funny because like with barter Metronet, I literally just go into Hognosh and it's pointless. Like it'll, I don't know. I think this is fine. This is fine because we need to be careful of Solnecta. And then if I go Hognosh, our real issue of the game is going to be dealing with Stratosaur, which honestly I'm not really sure how I do that with the team I bring here. That or I don't bring Waba, and then I go with Wiki to poison it after it Soul Bursts. Actually, no, this is the Frail Armor Stratosaur. So there is real potential that something could happen with that. I think I do go Wiki though, just because it's decent into Obelisk. And let's try Metronet lead. If it's Ika lead on Waba though, it's fine. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out when we get there. Metro versus Metro. It's funny because I could barter and he could barter and then literally nothing happens. It's just an energy wasted, but I know that this is his weird barter Virtualant Fang Metronet or like Volcanic Ash, whatever the heck. I know what this is. So it's really just about taking advantage of that knowledge because he's used it multiple times already. And I've been attempting to mix stuff up recently because I noticed I've been bringing the same team for like every freaking battle. Or every video, I mean. So yeah, I've been attempting that. I have pudding, by the way, so I'm gonna have pudding. Because it's good. Actually, they're leaving. Should we need to Solnecta on Hognosh? I feel like I just Soul Burst into a bulk up without much worry. Okay, Stratosaur. Obelisk. I mean, if I melt down, what do you do now? I might outspeed it. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I got my snack pack here. I wanted one. I saw that we had one, so I was like, I'm just gonna take it. These videos are like the time when I go to get snacks. And then everyone gets to see as I have snacks. What really stops one more bulk up into Meltdown? I'm gonna try that. See what happens. Okay. I'm down. Let's Meltdown. Frame 1. Bop. Oh, when we just get rid, it just dies. That's what happens, is it just dies. I'd say that's a solid kill. Not bad in the slightest. So, if you guys don't know, I play this mobile game of AFK Arena, and They had a solo leveling event recently. I know all the anime people are like, solo leveling. I don't know too much about the anime itself. There's a couple that I've seen so far. One of the main ones being Frieren, which I think literally just means cold in German. I'm not entirely sure. But, oh, they go Solnecta. I'm just going to Baneful and see how that goes. If I kill Solnecta, I can Drudge and I'm in a great spot because I've got rid of the two things that are probably the best to do them. But, continue what I was saying. Jinwoo is so strong. Look at him. Look at my Jinwoo. He's broken. I don't know why you're just staying in. You're not surviving this. Why am I raid bossing right now? I didn't want to do this. But no, I got him to level 220, and I got this crazy crazy clip of him. Let me grab the image. Where is he? Yeah, look. That's the oh my god, you can't see it. Can I get it to focus? Yeah, look, I don't know if you can see, but that little red yeah, look, see? He carried. Look at that. Did 2 million damage. And that was just crazy. Okay, well, there's a Thamen, and it's honestly looking like I just raid boss this, but I kind of don't want to. I want to try to get Umbraat on the field. At this point, I'm okay with Hognosh not raid bossing. My only real problem... No, I guess it's not really a big problem, right? I'm just gonna go Metro. I know they have Thamen, Metronet, and probably Stratosaur, which means they have no switch into Dark Surge right now. My range defense just fell, but that just gave me plus... 531 range attack! Goodness gracious. This is about to be a blow up. Taking advantage of my blatantly bad stat drop RNG to use Applied Frustration Goggles Metronet, which a friend of mine has been suggesting that I use for a while. Ah, there's a last. They have Thamen last. They're gonna Fire Breath here. If I go... I mean, Hognosh wins, right? If I go Umbraat, I Drudge. I don't outspeed Ika is the problem. I am definitely seeing the possible uses of Quick Pounce. Because if I Drudged, I'm not sure. I mean, Drudging plus Quick Pounce doesn't help me here, right? It would only help if this isn't chipped. Which, Flash of Flea's not enough chip. And I don't know, I don't remember if this thing is specialty item. I believe it is. No, this is this Magnify, right? This is Magnify one. It's Magnify Jolt. I know that. Unless he swapped to specialty item recently. And I'm not entirely sure. Oh, right. So Luminami's dead. That's fine. Hopefully, anyway. The problem is, I know it's Jolt, so I can't just go Umbraat. Right? That's the issue. Okay, I need to go Hognosh. And I got the Volt Shell, which is a good thing to get off there. We're gonna Baneful, just because it'll cover for both things that switch in. And I'm not worried about losing this. I'm only worried about... Alright, I'm worried about losing this. Kind of? Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, that's not enough. Did my need for wanting to get the showcase done throw the game? I don't think so. Is it just... Do I not just go into Metronet? Because I might... Do I survive that? Never mind. We're good. All I do now is go Umbraat into a Body Slam, and then we go Metronet and win. I mean, actually, I fade away. I fade away. Because then I pivot, go straight into Metronet instead of sacking. Yeah! Oh my god. No! My voice crack. Frick. Alright. Fade away. Sick. I got crit. Fade away. Alright, and now we go into Metronet. And now we Dark Surge. Dark Surge. Dark Surge. That was a crazy slap. I don't know if it picked it up. My microphone picked it up, but that was an authentic little... Oh, come on. There you go. Little slap there. Dark Surge. Boom. Blowy up. What? That didn't count? What? That's not how this is supposed to work. Yeah. No, that's... What the heck? He survived? Alrighty. I was dancing with this guy this whole time, so we're gonna hope that there's no dark resist here. There's no dark resist, but there's a Waba, so kind of body slamming everything's kind of difficult. Plus, there's now a Line, which is one of the few dark types in the game that resists ice. This is gonna be great. I mean, my Metronet kind of like eviscerates their team slowly with Psycho Blast. They don't have a switch in for it. Cosmere is the only thing, and I can just go Luminami for that. So it's kind of gonna be like Luminami, Waba, and Metro are really good here. I think I could also go with Rancidor, and I can just spam Draco Beam on Waba, which is a cool thing that you can do. I need to be very aware of the Oculos, though, because Oculos is a big threat for me, honestly, as if my Waba dies, or if it gets Rogue Assaulted. Last option for me either is Rancidor, just to offer more offensive pressure, which also outspeeds everything, so I have speed control that way. Or I go into Wiki to be a lot safer against the light spamming moves from Nymare, but I'm also then entirely walled by the Gargolem. But even then, I do have Lumi, so that could be an option. But I feel like I could maybe deal with the Nymare stuff. I'm scared of this league because I think it's just gonna be Grimuline. Oh, it's a lot better than that. No boots, are you? I ain't risking that. I know this thing's boots. I know it's boots. I'm definitely leaving, like, immediately. Because I definitely suspect this thing's boots, but if it outbursts here, it's probably boots. But alright, so probably gloves then? Is the bootsies or Nymare? That make a lot of sense here. Flash and Flee looks obvious. Frostbeam, they know I could click. I'm just gonna Flash and Flee. They Flash and Flee themselves. That is Goggles damage. So Goggles is on the Nymare. So that means Metronet outspeeds it. So that's good. I do get the Flash and Flee off that I thought I would get off here. Okay, now here's the problem. I need to Goop Spout, actually, because Wobbles doesn't really threaten me too much. I mean, I guess it can Bitter Cold. So, I guess that is a problem. Is the Bitter Colding Wobblisk. That can definitely be a thing. So, I'm going to leave. And now I'm going to just go back into my Wobblisk. Yeah, there's Bitter Cold. That makes a lot of sense. If we're going to do this... Oh, I guess we're doing it. Now, the important thing is when you're doing a barb battle like this, I have no hazard removal. So, my thing is I need to make sure he doesn't get as much up. I'm going to Driving Force here. Looks like he has a little bit of... He either has speed on his or I'm getting majorly unlucky. Probably the latter. No, probably... Yeah, now my thing there is useless, which is now a little tragic. I can just go for damage, though. And if they have Grimuline, this is just sad. All my glorious plans fail because of the Grimuline's existence. And his Umbrat's really slow. Yeah, he definitely has some speed on Waba to win the speed tie. Unless it's not a speed tie, unless it is a speed tie, I lost it twice. There's a chance at that, too. Okay, I get a little bit of damage there. Another layer of barbs goes up. Let's just body slam again. We're gonna proc the milkshake here, unless I crit. Yeah, there's the milkshake. He ate it. He didn't drink it. He ate it, glass and all, and the straw. There's driving. Back into my own Waba. And is it gonna be a thing where I go for 2 barbs here, you go for your last layer, then you driving force me? I could see that. And then it would be up to if they're probably, are they Gus Naimare? It makes sense if they're Gus Naimare, right? That'd make a lot of sense. No, they just want to go for it immediately. Alright, which means next time my Wobbless comes, I don't actually eat the milkshake, but the health I get back from not it would have been the same either way. My cat now seems to be screaming at my siblings. For what? I'm not really sure. There's another driving force. Yeah, now they're just throwing it out now, which makes this a little spooky. Metronite is a big threat, so I don't know if I can go into it here. Rancidor needs all the health it can get, but honestly, this might be my best option. I don't know what else I can do. I think it needs to be Loomy into Umbrat. If it goes Rancidor here into Loomy or Waba, it's bad. But if it's a 50-50 basically if this works out for me. And I live on the 50-50. We got the 50-50. Nice. Yeah, their Dark Resist was really bad. And their Mine Resist was also bad. Their Mine Resist was Cosmure Unleashed. I'm just gonna Psycho Blast actually. Yeah, we take down the Waba, and we both get equal hazards up, but he got more damage out of it because he's gone for a lot of driving forces by now. And since he knows he knows I have Loomy, so he's never gonna go Cosmure and know that Luminar is gonna come in. So it's more of a prediction game at that point. We're gonna have to see what they go for though. I more so went for Psycho Blast because I was scared of Grimmyline. I guess Naimare could come in here if it wants to, because it knows it can live a Psycho Blast. So at that point, it would go for a Flash and Flee, and if I go Loomy, they're going to go into... I guess they could go Nevermare. I'm not sure what they would do. Yeah, Naimare just makes the most sense here. I guess it could Gust. I could just go for big damage, so then Dark Surge kills it later. Let's just see how much this does. I think I take too much in return, though. I think I just take a bit too much. A little bit, okay. But I'm throwing out damage now. The thing is, I can't really, like, stay in necessarily that often here, which is the problem. I'm throwing out a lot of damage, but it's not great, if that makes sense. I also need to keep my Rancidor around for Nevermare, and I did get the chip I really, really like. I really, really like on that. Well, honestly, if this thing gets its stat boost, game's probably over. It's a speed tie. So let's Psycho Blast and win the speed tie. Of course we don't. Why would I ever win the speed tie? I've never won it today. I can never win speed ties. I can never ever win them. Well, we get our milkshake here, so we don't take any damage here. Oh, I guess it could have been boots, right? I guess it could be boots. But we don't know that yet. We are not aware of it potentially being boots. I can deep freeze here. It actually just goes for EQ, so it is Clutch Plushie. I guess they're being very careful of Loomy coming in, which does make sense. I guess I should have drivinged actually. Driving would have been much better here. Yeah, I lost the speed tie. I don't know, if his Waba has literally like 1 speed investment, then he outspeeds me. So yeah, it's more of a thing of, yeah, that's more of the problem. But like in my eyes, if they're the team I think that they are, which is like Oculos or Nevermare, Naimare, Gargolem, they lost Waba, or Grimmyline. Yeah, so they lose Gargolem. I still have my Grimmyline around. My Grimmyline is a big threat, is the thing. Like, it's the nice thing that Grimmyline's still around. Or not Grimmyline, Rancidor. God, why do I keep saying Grimmyline? I don't know why I keep saying that. I swear, there's a Grimmyline in the back. And, actually, no, it's Cosmure. Naimare, Cosmure, someone. Someone else is back there, but I don't know who it is. I mean, I'm Draco beaming you. I'm okay with this. I get an ancient type boost. So this is okay. It won't do that much to the Nymray if it ends up switching in, but that's okay. Of course. Lovely. Of course I get the miss. I lost the speed tie. I miss. Yeah. These things just make sense, in all honesty. It just makes sense. Well, if it clicks slap down and it's gloves, it's locked in it. Which now means I can go into Umbraat and I can Drudge. Which is my last option that I have right now. Oh. Alright, here we go! The end game's here! A lot of tragedies have happened to get to this end game. Neither move matters here. I do think that Chili Chomp is probably better in case... No, Body Slam is just better, no matter what they have. Body Slam is just the better move here. Yeah, not very lucky this match. I missed my Draco Beam, which would have just been a free kill in the Cosmere because they stayed in. And then if they go Nymray, I just have to figure something out at that point. I probably just, I don't know. Is their last Oculos? What is their last? Is it never? It's Oculos, Nevermare. It's one of those two. Is he gonna energy stall me? Because I only have Luminami left, so if it's Nevermare, I just lose, I'm pretty sure. Let's Body Slam then. I'm slightly confused now. What's going on? What's your last? It's Oculus, yeah. Its Drudge outspeeds me. So there's nothing I can do here to stop the loss. Only thing I could do is... No, I mean, I just have to Body Slam, right? I can't do much. I'd have to Drudge... Actually, no, if I Drudged on him there, I was fine. No, we actually just Ice Hammers. Do I live this? Woo! No way! Umbraat actually clutched the end game. No way. That tragic miss turned into the reason we won. Yeah, actually, no, that miss was completely fine, actually. I should have... Oh my gosh, that miss was actually insane for me. Because they went for Slapdown, probably expecting Luminami to come in. That miss actually wins me the game, thinking about it now. Because if I killed Cosmere, right? I don't know. But hey, I'm not really going to complain about that. I made it on top of my pillar. This guy made it up here. GG to you. That was fun. But I actually really liked this. This was really fun. I think it was actually a lot better than the Drudge to Clips one. To Clips does have its own benefits of having light and dark. But that's fine. I really like Umbrats though. Like a Dark, Spirit, and Ice. That's not bad at all. Like you get Pivot. You have Sweeping potential. You can act as both, which is nice. You can act as a slow Pivot into a mediocre speed Sweeper. I do think that Umbraat's probably not the best Drudge user just because it's like Terradescent, where even after a +1 speed, you're outspeed by a majority of faster boots users. So I do think that despite all that, Umbraat is still pretty good. And the problem of like Land Torch and Dominant stuff is still prominent. However, you could replace Fade Away for Quick Pounce, as I didn't really click Fade Away that much. So yeah, hopefully everyone enjoyed, and I'll see everyone later. Bye!